Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Born to Be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, Nate Wolf. Good to be back here on another Friday evening.
I am Hydralisk, and I'm also stoked to be here Friday, my favorite night of the week. I'm ready to talk some Hearthstone.
I'm excited to be here tonight. It's your boy Mike Lowe. Got my boy GulDaniel here tonight, representing Black History Month. I'm ready to do this, man.
Yeah. You guys got a special guest tonight, and a very rare occasion that we have a reoccurring guest. It doesn't happen too often, so you have a place of honor amongst us.
Two-timing.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Right. So
I didn't even think about that.
That's a holiday.
Before I came, I was just like, oh man, it's hype. It's a whole new cast. It doesn't feel like it's my second time. Like it was you and Craig first, Nate.
That's
and
right.
then
Hold on. I gotta introduce you first though.
Okay.
Let me hype you up a tiny bit, right? Okay, so we have multi-legend, Rank1 Legend, Wild Hearthstone player, Warlock expert, podcast host of the Hearthstoners. Welcome back to the show, GulDaniel. It's good to have you, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Damn. Back to
I
back.
appreciate that. That means a lot. It's an honor to be back. It's an honor to be part of y'all's Black History Month, a little celebration here. And I've been stoked for this. Like when you asked me back, Mike, I've been looking forward to this day, talking some Hearthstone with the guys, my dads, my uncles, grandpas, at age at this point. But I'm looking forward to this, man.
We're excited to have you. I think it'll be an absolute blast.
I was excited when I was on your podcast. I knew that you'd be coming on our show, so it was cool. Like within like a 3-week span, being on your show, and then Black History Month, and you coming on to Born to Be Wild. So it's just cool, just being on the shows and the connection you have with Hydra, the connection you have with Nate pre-existing.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Because I knew Hydra. I think Hydra, I might have known him briefly. I'd hung out with him. We had done some co-ops and everything. Then Nate I had been on, obviously, with Craig and him. And then Nate did Arena Priest. And I remember when Nate asked me, I was like, what the heck? Like, it's Rising Priest. Come on, man. But I had a blast hanging out with him. And then Mike, you were the only one I hadn't really spent some time with. And, we shot it up for like an hour. We had a good time. We hung out. It was
oh, man. I got so drunk, but I'm going to let you get to the show notes. I'm going to shut up.
Hey, that was a good episode.
That's awesome, guys. Well, before we get into a bit of an interview with GulDaniel, I just want to see how everybody's weeks was. See how you're doing. Nate, how did your week go?
It was good. Yeah, didn't really do a whole lot aside from I had beat Ghost of Tsushima. I started playing Death Stranding. It is a trippy game. It combines all of my favorite stuff. So you have Mads Mikkelsen plus Norman Reedus plus Guillermo del Toro plus directed by Kojima of Metal Gear. And so you jam all my favorite stuff into one game. Like, it has to be awesome. I started playing it. I'm 6 hours in, and all I've done is walk around with a 300-pound backpack and get scared by invisible ghost babies. But it's a good game. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I got to take off work a little bit early to sneak home and watch the BlizzCon announcement. So that was pretty dope.
Lucky.
Just to preface, I will say there's so much. I think that we got most of it, but there's probably something that we forgot. So apologies in advance. But anyways, yeah, Mike, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, this week I've been turning up online, really coming into my own, setting up this listener series. In the first few weeks, we had a lot of players with good feedback, positive criticism that helped, form things up. So I'm really excited for how things are rolling out. And I don't know nothing about what's going on today. I knew BlizzCon was happening, so I knew my advantage was if I didn't watch it, I could come into the show and get all the information and just hear about it. So I'm ready to do it. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, that'll be really cool to hear your fresh takes on it. I know a little bit about what happened today. I caught most of it, but it's all so fresh. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So that'll be cool. For me, for my week, I started playing a game that's been out for a while. Did you guys ever play the game called The Forest?
No, huh?
No.
I stay out the woods, yo.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy. It's a survival game where you're in a plane crash and you land on this island, and you wake up and you're alive, but you don't know where everybody else is. And it's like a survival game. You have to chop down trees, build yourself a fort and stuff. And what I didn't really know, because I didn't look into the game too much, is there is like these cannibals on the island, and they come to like get you at night. And so I'm playing this game in VR, and so I've built my camp, and I'm like standing next to my fire, and I've caught a rabbit, and I'm trying to like cook this rabbit and figure out how things actually work. And then I start hearing these sounds around me, like, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then like out from the trees, this like naked man, like Tarzan style man, comes like running and just tries to eat my face, like screeching. And it is quite the terrifying thing when you got the VR strapped to your head, I tell you.
Those things are awesome. Which one do you have? Do you have like the for a system or like the non?
No, I've got a PC VR. I have the Oculus Rift S. Okay. It's pretty cool.
So this game, is it one player or could we play together?
We can play together.
Ooh.
So see now you got see normally black folks will stay out the woods, but like if we could build stuff together and I got you know what I'm saying, my homie from Canada, I'm trying to play.
Yeah, and you don't have to play the game in VR. You could play it. It's on Steam. Anybody can play it. It's just you could choose to play it on VR. And I actually ended up taking it off and just playing it normally because it was easier to do. Because with VR controls and stuff, it actually makes stuff kind of harder, but it's more immersive. So there's that. That basically was my week playing other games, laddering on Hearthstone. I went really hard at the beginning of the month on NA, and now I'm just playing catch up on the other servers. And I've been a dirty priest player the whole time, so there's that. But that's basically my week. How about you, GulDaniel? What have you been up to?
I saw GulDaniel make this face of disgust when you said that.
Yeah, I know. I need priest wins, man. I only have, like, when I started doing this, like 300 something. Gotta get those priest wins.
At least you're doing it for a good cause. You're trying to get some achievements and everything.
Oh,
if you're playing
I
priest for
that.
fun,
After
then it'd be a little different.
After 7 years, only 300 priest wins? That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Okay, in my book. But I've had a good week. Virginia got hit with some tough weather, so I actually got a couple days off work that I wasn't expecting. Thankfully, I only lost power today for a few hours. Didn't impact the show area. But I've been playing a bunch of other games this week. Played Super Mario Odyssey with my buddies Gasu and Binks. We were crushing that game. Honestly, it really dissolved into throwing each other off ledges and who can get the crown at the end. And that's really all that mattered. And we had an absolute blast with that. And I don't know. I'm not going to spoil this game because I had so much fun playing it, and you have to play it. Undertale, have you heard of that? I mean, I'm sure you can probably. It's been out for a little.
Things, but I haven't played it yet.
It's short. It maybe only 6 hours, but it was cute. Oh. It was fun for a little bit, and it was like, oh my god, it's not hard. It's nothing difficult. It's fun. It's like some weird puzzles, and then like there's like some moments in the game that just like, oh, my feels for this little game, and it's. I'll remember that game forever. It's my favorite game ever. I highly recommend it. It was simple, but it was fun. It was charming, and really, really just got me. There was like this little lesson at the end too, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it.
All right.
I played all 6 hours like on a one snow day. I just couldn't get enough of it. I'm gonna play it again because I think it's got some replayability and everything, so I highly recommend it.
Hey, GulDaniel, for people who don't know you or aren't familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, hey, who are you? Where do you come from? What's your origin story? All that.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not really a streamer. I'm like half a podcaster. I do have a podcast. I'm mostly just like a Hearthstone personality on Twitter and Twitch chat and everything. I'm that Warlock guy that you hear and moaning. Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I was doing so well. And then I was gonna priest rant, and I got a little upset. That guy, with behind the chain Raza thing. But I've been playing Hearthstone since Cold in the Catacombs. a bunch of my friends from home were playing at Casual Fridays, who actually I started with the Hearthstoners with. They really got me into the game. I bought the Welcome Bundle. Jiraxis was my first legendary. So my first deck was 29 Taunts and Lord Jiraxis. And I just wrecked my friend group. I was just tearing it up. I was terrible. I was playing Reno Priest without, because Reno, like standard with Jiraxis. It was terrible. But I fell in love with Warlock, and I never looked back since. I've got nearly 6,000 Warlock wins across all the servers, all 4 servers. And my next closest class is 250, maybe. to be very honest.
Hey, can you give us your best You Face Jiraxis impression?
Oh, God. Oh. You Face Jiraxis! I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, Lord of the Burning Legion.
Oh, God.
That was pretty good.
You like that?
Oh, that was rough. I love Jiraxis. I thought he was just a cool card, cool design card. And I didn't really play a lot of card games. I really came from Madden, 2K, and Hearthstone hooked me. It was unlike anything ever, because I felt like I should say I came from chess, really, was the game that I compared Hearthstone to the most. It was like one love after that. It's my main game. I've been playing, even when the metas get rough, you got to find a way to have fun sometimes. And during the Snip Snap meta, I had a lot of fun with like Glinda, Highkeeper Ra combo, which I still to this day believe could sometimes beat Snip Snap. But I've been really enjoying, I'll be a little guilty. I've been enjoying Darkly. I've been having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, it's kind of like my brief background. I've been like, I'm the Warlock main from down the road. Like, you ever need anything, I got you.
Sounds good to me. And I was going to ask about Warlock. So, other than the fact that you opened Jiraxis right off the bat and you started building upon that, what about the class has kept you playing Warlock like years down the road?
Honestly, I think it's the flexibility of the class. I felt like, and I would always joke to my friends that I could take any other class's win condition and do it better. And I couldn't do it better, but I could do a decent proximity of it. Void Collar and the Void Lord lets you do a lot of different things. And then being able to life tap and draw a card. That seems good. that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah.
The really cherry on top is you defile just, being able to survive anything, get to the late game, and then just be able to choose your win condition. Really I enjoyed being a deck builder, being able to just find wacky little things to do, but I wanted to win at the same time. Warlock gave the best opportunity to do something slightly different, maybe from the meta at times, but also win a lot of games.
Okay. I guess another cool benefit too is the longer you play Warlock in Wild, like life tap you're always hurting yourself, but the longer you play, there's always more healing too.
Yeah, that was. I never planned with Wild in mind, but once I did make the transition to Wild, it was like, oh wow, there's way more possibilities than I even knew, and I seem to luck up and pick one of the classes that seems to. It won't fall very far from the top at any one point in the game, which is nice. I'll be able to find something to play. This has been my first foray into a more aggressive Warlock. I've definitely been a control Warlock player in the past. Definitely the staple is Void Collar, Void Lord, Defile. That's not good enough anymore with the power spikes in Wild, so I've adapted. But I just think the flexibility really has kept me playing Warlock over the time. Being able to, even when Warlock was at its roughest points, I felt like I could find something that maybe wouldn't be tier 1, but was going to get me to Legend, let me place high enough where I was going to feel comfortable and have a good season. Like, I could adapt it. Not many classes can say that. So
nice.
So what's up, GulDaniel? How you doing?
How you doing, my dude? How you doing, Fight?
Doing good. So I'm gonna ask a non-Hearthstone question, because I already have decided that Warlock is the supreme class. At any point in time, if they try to nerf one thing about it, it can rebound and do something else. So I just want to ask a different question. What was it like growing up in your local area? And you don't gotta say where this area is, but growing up in your local area, did you face any issues based on being a person of color? And if you did, what did you have to do to navigate that to get to the point where you're at now, to be online, be comfortable, to tweet, have your face on camera? Because I know some people are in scenarios where like they're getting pressure where they can't.
No, I was definitely thinking about that because I listened to y'all's last episode with Young Hunt, and he was very open and spoke about some really real stuff that he was dealing with and going on. And that's a good dude. I streamed a couple times back when he was still streaming, and he would pop in and say hey. And I remember he was like, his stream was always fun, engaging. That's a great dude and an honest and open guy, and that takes a lot. But
Yeah.
well, my brief story is my parents tried to do everything they could for me. So they put me in private school when I was little. I went to predominantly an all-white private school, and for most of my upbringing, K through 8, I've been blessed, physically, mentally, spiritually. I've been honestly blessed. I beyond anything, I've got nothing to complain about in this world. But for a long time, my mentality was the worst thing about myself was the color of my skin. Honestly, I was just around just a lot of people that didn't look like me. Sometimes you're interested in a girl, and their parents aren't okay with it. And the one problem they got with you is you just look a little different.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a 14, 15-year-old kid. I'm young. I don't know anything better. It's like, what? Like, I'm me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? But like it's that, fine. Yeah. But I had great parents that like taught me from the beginning, like, everybody's the same. Everybody's equal. I never held any resentment to it. And it's a weird because you hear these like terrible things about, and this is like, actually, I'll come back to that. But it was always like the color of my skin mattered a lot. Even when I got to high school, I played sports. I played college football for a couple years, and you get into that locker room. I played receiver, of course. You look at there's like, hey, you're the black guy, you play receiver, and I always wanted to be a quarterback, but like there was there was the politics that I saw there. There was the politics in the sports, but that was always a part of my life where like my color was a thing, and actually, Hearthstone in this community has been the first place where my color has never been an issue. I think maybe it's just the members I've gotten involved with. You guys, the awesome members in Burnt's Discord. I'll always shout out Rada Zombies. Twitch chat was the first place I really started interacting with people on the internet. My buddy Shia, who I do the podcast with, he's got an awesome Twitch chat. He's an awesome dude. The community has been so awesome. Like I can't even think of a time. Like the first time, maybe it honestly might be when Mike asked me to like, do you want to do this Black Lives Matter thing? It's like the community like I've been ingrained in has been actually been really cool in that WoW community. And like, yeah, there's some bad eggs, but I'm just the kind of person like learned very early. Like I don't need your approval. I don't need what you think. If you're not okay with me or you're not okay with people I want, I don't need to hear your thing.
Yeah,
that's not gonna upset me. I'm not gonna let that get me off my base. So like this, and like we've gone through like some rough times as a nation recently, and I've actually found like a nice little pocket of solace, camaraderie in the little wild Hearthstone community that I've been able to find. It's been a weird. It's been interesting. I've been like I said, blessed beyond, but.
Here, I'm really glad that this is a space where you don't have to experience that whatsoever. I'm really happy to hear that. That I'm happy to hear that type of experience exists and it can exist here in this space. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just something like Mike, you've definitely had it where you walk into a place and you just feel like there's just like maybe an extra eye or two. You just feel it,
Yeah. I lived in the Northeast for 20 years.
So I know. You just like...
Oh, I mastered it. But anyway.
I've definitely had to there have been friends that I've had to, maybe remove myself from. There have been people but then on the other side, there have been people that have been overly awesome. And I remember there's one friend, I'm not going to say his name real quick, it's a side tangent, but he was just one of those dudes that occasionally let the N-word slip every now and then. I'll be like, no, dude, that ain't cool or whatever. And it was just it was harmless. And, I'm pretty laid back. But then he was the dude when everything happened. he was like, "Hey man, like I'm going downtown. We're going by the statue. You want to come with me?" And I was like, "Let's go!" And you just see like he was the guy that like actually like listened and everything, and that made me appreciate like there are like positives to every negative. Like you gotta like there's a lot of bad going in this world, but there are a lot of people that do want to better themselves, do better by other people, and actually really do care. And that's kind of like what I do want to like end up taking away from this is like Black History Month and everything. It's important. It's awesome that we get to celebrate this month of Black people and Black culture and everything. There's much negativity in the world. There's a lot of positivity and a lot of people helping that got to this point. It's awesome.
I really appreciate, the vulnerability and your willingness to kind of chat with us and let us know your experiences. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. And man, I don't know. You've always been an awesome guy.
One second, Nate. I just like honestly like before you say it, like thank you for just giving me like a platform just to come on here and like talk about that because like it means a lot for you. Like you guys are part of the like what I'm talking about, that positivity. That's like you don't have to give me this platform. You don't have to do any of that, but you're willing and like super supportive and awesome and just like genuinely good dudes. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's good. It's good. I just you've been an awesome guy since day one. I mean, you are a degenerate Warlock player, but so am I. So I mean, what can I complain about?
Yo, I remember when I first saw your like when I first heard about you, like through the grapevine of the community, and I was just like, yo, there's another Black dude who plays. Let me check him out. Yo, and he's mad cool. He plays Warlock. I was like, oh, he's legend. He's way better than me. Let me not say nothing. I was like, damn, let me just follow him. I didn't say nothing for you. But no, you're cool, man. I'm glad you're
on
here.
that note, like it you actually do like I say like you don't notice anything in the WoW community. I haven't noticed anything, but like I did notice like Mike's Black, he's doing his thing, he's out there, like that's awesome. Pizza you're going to have him on next week. That's an awesome finale. Like I remember watching his streams and be like, whoa, there's actually like a dude that actually does look like me out there, and that's awesome. And like he plays standard and I ain't interested. But like I like still follow him and stuff, and he's like a good guy. I know, and that's going to be an awesome episode you have. So shameless plug for your next one. It gets better than this. Like actually real players.
Don't sell yourself short. All right, I got one final question for you though. On a lighter note, we asked this of everybody, but where did you get your username from? I mean, it's kind of a giveaway, but for the fans.
Okay. So I started out as Charchomp. I came from Pokemon kind of too. I didn't touch too much about that, but my favorite two Pokemon, Charizard, Garchomp. Throw them together. I didn't figure I was going to play Hearthstone too much. And I kept playing. Obviously, I stuck with Warlock for a while. And Casual, my buddy, he was just like, hey, man, GulDaniel. GulDan, your name's Daniel. Just put them together and, that'll be it. And I was like, honestly, dude, that is genius. And it's been like that ever since. And I used the one free change. And that's it. Nice. It's been cool because I felt like it's been really iconic. Honestly, I felt like it's the reason a lot of people started taking me a little seriously. Like I was just like some random dude that posted on Twitter, and so people were like, "Oh, GulDaniel, I remember, when you first start to play streamers and everything. When I was getting into Twitch, I would always go check their VODs to like watch the game, see if they said anything." And I remember, like, Control does... I don't think Control even streams anymore, right?
Not really.
You know what? He's been streaming Wild again in the last 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, but yeah, he used to post his stuff on YouTube, and that's how, everyone gets into, like, watching Twitch by YouTube and a Twitch, and then you go on, because YouTube highlights aren't real Hearthstone. I'm sorry to break it to you. So I went to his... Twitch, and he was like, "Oh, GulDaniel, that's actually a really cool name. I like that." But he has the Mechatrax's portrait, and I was like, "All right, I'm changing that immediately."
Okay, have you ever played WoW Classic?
No.
Okay, because I ran into somebody while playing WoW Classic, and their name was GulDaniel, and they were standing outside of Undercity, and I ran up to them, and I was like, "Dude!" They're like, what? And I was like, Hearthstoners! And he's like, get away from me, freak. And I was like, okay, bye. I totally thought it was you.
No.
It was like a year ago.
Sticking away from WoW in all entirety.
I was like, man, I look like an idiot now. Whatever.
It's pretty great. I get a lot of random ads from the Spanish community apparently because it's a Spanish name. So apparently, occasionally, every now and then, I'll get someone be like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, but it was a good game." Anyway, have a good one.
GulDaniel, traditional Spanish name, yes.
I didn't know that. Apparently, I get some random ads.
All right, Mike, what do we got? Let's talk about this listener series.
All right, so let's transition over to the listener series. So, for those who may not be familiar with the listener series, each week we have a weekly challenge for our current members. We got 34 people sign up right now. We started 3 weeks ago. We're going into week 4. There's 8 weeks in every season, and in our off seasons there will be 3 weeks off. I'm really excited because we're gonna have a new set coming out soon, and then we'll be going to the off season, ramp it up for season 2. So what makes this series different from others? We have custom deck building challenges every week. So things such as common cards only, or 1 epic card per deck. Goofy things like that to make it different from ladder. So right now, I just want to run through the leaderboard, give you guys the top 4 performances in the league. Just give them a little bit of shine real quick. In 4th place, we have Dr. BOMD. Everybody knows Dr. BOMD over here. In 3rd place, we got Seth coming in at 6'2". All these 6'2" records. Seth for Christ. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he beat me week 1.
Dude, he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, his decks were on point. Yeah, he had some great decks.
Coming in 2nd place, we have Maximon. Maxi is in the 2nd place. And 1st place overall, I kind of feel bad for sparking this fire. We got Taylor Reeve, Dr. Evil coming in 1st place. I might have talked too much last week on accident. So made her mad, and she destroyed whoever it was week 2. I'm not sure who her opponent was.
It was me. You guys shut up.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I won one. It was 3-1 at least. At least I won one. But
that's good. No, yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, like, deck building restrictions and all, we brought the exact same lineup.
No.
Almost the exact same decks, minus maybe 1 or 2 card difference. It was crazy, and we didn't talk about it ahead of time. And then I got stomped real hard.
Snap.
That's great.
Those couple cards were important, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to let everybody know who's not in this listener series. The current week is week 3. Our deck building challenge is no minions. You can add spells, weapons, or hero cards to your decks. This week is very exciting. I had my match today, and sorry, just a mom, but I was able to pull off my set 3-0.
There you go. Congrats. Good stuff. Good stuff.
You know, your boy, I kind of like this no minion week. We might have to make a whole separate, series. Like, these decks are fun. I had Quest Paladin. Anyway, I'm getting too off track. Anyway, this week was no minions. Only spells. Next week's challenge is actually on the wheel. Hey Nate, can we get that going?
Yo,
is that a thing? Yo, shout out to Play Hearthstone. I see you guys getting on your wheel game. Yo, I'm loving that. Let's collaborate sometime.
Let's collab sometime.
Feel that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you guys, I got the wheel ready here. Let's click to see what this week's challenge is going to be. I've got 5 different options here, so let's give it a spin.
Got the keys.
Oh,
yeah, we have some...
All right, Galakron is awake.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, are you guys ready for this?
All right, what does this mean?
All right, Galakron is awake. This week, you can only add dragon minions.
Oh, let's go!
Minions or dragon minions? Okay.
Your only minions can be dragon minions. Galakron's awake. Let's go. I love it. Dragon Week is here. I was waiting for this week. Excited for this. This is gonna be crazy.
I wondered what this meant. That's exciting. The fun thing about this is I see the titles, but I don't know what they mean. And so when you pick one, I'm like, what is this? What is it? Tell me more.
That's my excitement too. Some of these are submissions from people who are in the league. I have them all on the Google Doc. So it was some of my excitement to not give you all the information. So on the show, you know what I'm saying?
The hype train
factor. Like you got to forgive me. You know what I'm saying? It's coming in a few minutes with this news.
I'm not going to be able to focus the rest of the show. I'm going to be thinking about these decks.
Yeah, man. I can't wait, man. So yeah, let me close this portion out. How can people sign up? So 2 ways. Well, actually, no. Here's the one main way. Let's do it the best. Join our Discord. Under the tournament section, you will see a channel that says New Player Sign Up. You click that tab. It brings you to a Google form. And once you fill that form out, that form dings right here on this here iPhone in my hand, on this camera. And then I see a New Player Sign Up. I can add you to the league. In that form, you would have given me your Discord and your email, and from there I can contact you. Bing, bang, boom, and you're in. I got you.
Nice. Does it cost money or anything like that?
Oh yeah, it costs free $99.
Tree fitty.
Free 99.
No.
I'm sorry. Did you say free
99?
Free 99.
Free 99. No cost a thing. Yo, it's a wild custom deck building league that costs no money. Get into the playoffs, maybe win a prize. Like, join the community, guys. This is open for everybody. It's real inclusive.
Yeah, it's super fun, and it's somewhere in between casual and competitive. And it's the thing I will say personally that I like about it the most just is that it's different from playing ladder. I'm playing in Wild THL right now, and it's fun, but honestly, all of my games feel like I'm playing ladder matches because they're just meta decks. And so here, this week I got to play all spell only decks, and next week I get to play dragon decks. And I know that my opponent's going to be playing the same thing, and so it's a lot different than like, oh, I got to face Secret Mage again.
Yeah, that was the best part about this week, especially because I'm sitting there like building my decks, knowing I'm playing Shia. So I'm like, I ain't bringing no aggro or something. Like, what aggro can you really bring? I'm like, do I need Defile? Do I need Dark Sky? Do I need these cards or like?
Maybe.
The deck building restrictions actually brought this like really fun aspect to each individual deck, and even after I submitted, I was like, "Oh my god, I could have brought like Spell Mage, which is an actual deck, which is an actual deck." But I'm over here bringing like to be determined later, But these challenges are a lot of fun. I'm guaranteed to like lose every week 3-1, but that's whatever. It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Who cares? It's
really enjoyable to mess around and build some wacky deck.
I want to say I told Just a Mom I would give them proper shout out before this segment ended. The rogue list they brought versus to me today, it was a Kingsbane rogue deck, but just the way it's like the way that no minion week worked. This deck is crazy. I will take the code and I will put it in Discord later on in case anybody wants to try it. If you want to see it now, it is on the spreadsheet. I'll put the code in. I'll put the command in chat. I just want to highlight that because that one deck was a lot of pressure and I couldn't stop it. It was just crazy. Like I did win, but like it was just insane. Like I don't know, man. Check it out later. I'll show you guys.
That's awesome. Hey, we do have one thing that's well. Let me bring up two quick points before we transition. One. I have heard people mention that it's difficult to practice because you can't really take these decks on ladder because of the restrictions. That being said, we have a really awesome community in the Discord and people want to practice all the time. And so I spent a lot of time this week practicing with other people who were not my opponent, and it was a blast. And some I won and some I lost. And, by this point I'd already submitted decks, so I couldn't change anything. But like even, you can test before you submit, you can test after. There's a good community to test with. So if you want to join and you don't want to test these crazy building restrictions on ladder, come to the Discord. There's lots of people to play with. The other thing that we have going on tonight, we're doing the show a tiny bit different. And instead of doing a co-op portion after the show, we're going to be casting GulDaniel and Shia's match.
Yeah, we are.
So that'll be an absolute blast.
Right here tonight? Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to getting smacked around on stream for a little bit. It'll be a good experience for everybody.
We're going to be able to see both hands, so you can't watch. Otherwise, you...
Oh, you're right. You already foiled my plans.
Oh man. All right,
I'm
you guys.
excited.
We had a lot of news this week, and the crazy part of it is like it all came right before the show, and so we've been jamming to try to get all this news on the show here in time for you guys tonight. And I think we got everything. If we missed anything, I'm sure that you guys will let us know. But I'm going to try to jam through it. Now, just a brief preface, things that don't apply to Wild, just going to skim through super briefly. I'm just going to kick things off here. We have some big announcements because BlizzCon started this afternoon. So first up, this coming year, when the rotation happens, it looks like there's no date yet, but it'll be March or April, will be the year of the Griffin. So we transitioning out of the year of the Dragon into the year of the Griffin. Should be super cool. And then they announced a new mode called Hearthstone Mercenaries. We know almost nothing about it yet, but looks pretty dope. They super barely teased it, but it looks like it reminds me a little bit of the dungeon run in a sense, just in that you start out with the character and you sort of like level it up as you progress through these various, battles and stuff. And I don't know, like they just barely teased it. So we'll get more information later, but it's cool. I mean, new game modes are always fun.
It showed a map where you go and you do each challenger level, and it reminded me of what it looks like in Slay the Spire. If you've ever played that game, it's a roguelike, and you just move up and complete each challenge and move on to the next one. By the way, the map looked so.
Slaystone, Roguestone.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's roguelike is what it's claimed to be. So,
GulDaniel, GulDaniel, you played Slay the Spire at all?
I have not. I've just seen all over Ridiculous Hats tweets about it, just, fanboying over it. So I've heard great things, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because I didn't see the announcement either, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, they barely teased it, but it looks fun. They said that it's different every time you play it. And so that's kind of exciting to me. It's just new player experience or new experience, new way to play the game is cool. Mm-hmm. All right, and then more big news. They announced a new expansion. It is called Forged in the Barrens. It's like a horde / Tauren / spiky animal themed expansion. So it's cool. Quills. Yes, quills. So
will you be prepared?
Will you be prepared? I think the answer is you are not prepared.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but take a look at this and think back to the good old days of Forged in the Barns. I saw this and my I had to bust out Photoshop super quick.
Oh no, that's terrible. That's messed up, Nate.
It's beautiful.
Hey, if you know, you know. Okay.
I love it. That's good stuff.
So there's a couple new things. All right. So there's a couple new things coming out. We've got some new mechanics. So the first up is called Spell Schools. So what are spell schools? It's basically tribes, but for spells. So like Murlocs and mechs or whatever, but except they're for spells. So your spells are going to have tribes now. And so there's 7 tribes or schools they're calling them. So there's Arcane, Fell, Fire, Frost, Holy, Nature, and Shadow. So not only does this affect the new cards, but it also is going to be retroactive and impact old spells. So it looks like some more than others. So it looks like Arcane is getting added to. There's 2 new spells, but they're adding the tag to 44 old spells.
That's so cool.
It looks like they're doing it with a whole bunch. So I'm not going to read through the list. The big ones look like Holy, Nature, and Shadow. And one thing that they had mentioned was that some classes will have access to multiple classes. And so, like Shaman, for example, they'll have Nature, but they might also have Arcane.
Wait. You meant some classes will have access to multiple schools?
Sorry, schools. Yes. Some classes will have access to multiple schools. And I'm not quite sure how this is all going to work. I don't think that means dual class spells. I think what it means is like some shaman spells will be nature and some shaman spells will be, arcane or whatever.
Yeah, and mage can do arcane, fire, and frost.
Probably, yeah. It makes sense.
I assume Warlock gets Shadow, considering there's 109 spells. I assume that's not all priest.
Yeah, you'll get Fell as well for sure.
Oh, for sure. That's pure Warlock, I believe. Maybe a little Demon Hunter.
The other thing that they added was this new thing. The spells now are going to have ranks, and I think this is just for the new ones. But basically, they level up in your hand, and so this was an example. Chain Lightning rank 1, deal 2 damage to a minion and a random adjacent one. But once you have 5 mana, it now does. It changes, so it's now deal 4 damage to a minion and a random adjacent one. And so the more mana you have, the spell upgrades, which is kind of cool. And I think it's different. And I could be wrong, but I think it's different than the existing cards that only, like Hagatha's Scheme, for example. You hold it in your hand, and every turn it's in your hand, it gets 1 bigger. I think this is different. My understanding is that this just depends on how much mana you have at the time. So I think if you drew it later, I think it is already upgraded. I could be wrong. This is new stuff. So
yeah, I agree with that. This is new to me. If you explain it that way and I read it as this is fresh to me, I agree with what you said. Because Hagatha's Scheme, it could be on the bottom of the deck and then it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. The only time it's good is when you have it early, right? And so this says upgrades when you have X mana. So I could see top decking it. And so the idea of these spells get more powerful later in the game is kind of cool.
Could be crazy in a ramp deck.
Oh, just wait. Priest will get like the best removal in the game and the best control / disruption in the game. Just wait. Warlock will probably get something good too.
Plus heal 3.
Better. We need it. Lord knows we need it.
He said we need it. This dude.
Hey. Since you're here, what is your opinion on Ticketus?
I like Ticketus. I don't play a lot of Reno Lock, and I actually recently got a list from my homeboy, Shia, and I kind of like Reno Lock without Void Caller. As weird as it seems, I kind of like it without Void Caller because I play more freely without that kind of like that crutch to I need to get Void Caller and Void Lord. It's just like I'm playing with the cards I have, and then you just upgrade Ticketus, go, bam. And I'm not a big Archwillow person. I think it's a decent card, but at 8 mana to like get 3 minions, like cool. At the point in that game, you really need to be doing like some big stuff, and like it's decent, but it's not good enough. So I wasn't super high on her. Ticketus, I'm a fan. I like Ticketus. I think it's good in the decks that want it. I think Reno Lock should maybe. I think Shia took Hijo's list and was experimenting with it a little bit differently, and I'm really liking it.
Nice. That's what I used to hit Legend this month too, was Reno Lock. So
okay. Yeah.
You'd be proud of me. I used Reno Priest the last 3 months in a row, and so I decided I had to do something different this month.
There we go. We'll swing it back in. Eventually, we'll get you. All
right. So a couple new things aside from these new spell tribes, if you will. There's a new keyword. It is called Frenzy. What that means is if the minion is damaged and it survives the damage, then it does something. And so here's an example. This is a new card here, Blademaster Samuro. It has Rush, and it says Frenzy. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. And there's going to be a bunch of different ones. It's essentially like Enrage was if it survives damage, it gets an attack buff. But this is instead, if it survives damage, it does some effect. And so different cards will have different. So I think with Enrage, it was always the same thing, right? It was always a buff. And then they took away the keyword. But this, with Frenzy, it's if it survives damage, it does something. And then different cards will have different effects.
Similar to like Overkill. Like if you overkill, you get a specific effect with the text. So
kind of like Spell Burst.
Or like Spell Burst as well. Yeah. Kind of like both. Like you have to do something, and then you get the effect after you do the thing.
Like kind of burst. Okay, so
just wait for Bodybuilder to put this in hand buff Pally, and have right. Wow. This is better than he's been running the Crab right now, right? Crab Rider. And
yeah.
This is a 4-mana board clear. So
yeah,
this reminds me of.
I don't know if it replaces Crab, but it goes in.
This reminds me of like improved morale. Like if that minion lives, you get the lackey out of it.
Yeah, kind of like all those warriors.
Like the frenzy. Yeah, like I get it now. So like if it lives, then you get the ability. I get it. So you can boost the attack up. And Do some
Right,
tricks
right.
with it. Okay.
Yeah, you could buff
Okay.
this.
Well, and the cool thing is because it's neutral, you can put it in anything. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. We have very little card reveals so far. So today at BlizzCon, we got the new expansion announced in the opening, and then they did kind of a 45-minute deep dive into Hearthstone. But all they really talked about was, hey, the new expansion is coming out. There's some Battleground stuff coming out. There's this new thing called Mercenaries coming out, and here's a couple of the new cards, and then they were done. 45 minutes was up so quick. And so we'll see. I mean, there's some more tomorrow. It'll be really interesting to see what questions they ask at the Q&A, or what questions they answer at the Q&A rather. And yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So a couple more things that they revealed so far. They're doing a class update for Shaman. We talk about class identities. So Shaman is getting a little bit of an update. They're removing. Yeah. Get this. So they're removing the spell damage totem.
That's the best one.
Right?
What? Wait. You started this sentence. You started the sentence totally wrong. You said they're getting an upgrade, and then you just butchered. You said they're taking the best totem.
Oh no. Upgrade is not the right word. Update is what I mean.
Oh.
Rip Odd Shaman. Okay.
They
So
ruined Shaman.
Shaman already was bad, but now Odd Shaman is worse. So they are pulling. I know. I got all excited because when they said they were removing a totem, I was like, "Oh, sweet! They're removing the 1/1, like the terrible one." And apparently, they're keeping it in, and they're removing the spell damage one. The reason why is because they're giving. I guess they're providing more spell damage minions. Something about each class is going to have like a 1-mana 1/3 that goes towards the class identity. Rip Odd Shaman. So here's the replacement totem. It is called the Strength Totem. It's a 0/2, and it says at the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +1 attack. So it's better than the 1/1. I wish that they would have removed the 1/1 and put this in place instead of getting rid of the spell damage one, because the spell damage one is great. But
I'm glad my spell damage combos are not in Shaman, like Malagos and stuff. I don't play Shaman.
I'm glad I don't play Shaman at all.
Yeah, that sucks for anybody who loves Shaman.
No, I mean it's really unfortunate because Odd Shaman was like a fringe deck that was really rewarding if you could play it correctly. And I know like 3E and Blue Train would take it to Legend a couple of times, and it was an interesting deck. And this just breaks
crazy.
it. So it's unfortunate. I do think there will be some things with this. Like if the card is not bad, I'm just sad at the one that they took out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no spell damage.
yeah, I don't know. Whatever. All right.
I got
so
mage. I'm good.
right.
How many times have you rolled the dice and be like, spell damage, spell damage, spell damage? Yes!
A lot of times. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, and then we also got a new free minion that everybody's getting. So the last time we all got Silas Darkmoon, and so this time we're all getting a new one. It's the new Vol'jin. Here it is. So it's called Shadowhunter Vol'jin. It's a neutral legendary 5-mana 3/6. Battlecry, choose a minion, swap it with a random one in its owner's hand. This thing is cool because
Whoa.
it's it's super versatile because not only is it neutral, so you can play it in any class, but you can target your opponent's minion, you can target your minion. And so if I'm playing some right? So it's kind of a dirty rat in some regards, but
It's also a neutral sap.
Potentially it's a neutral sap, or I think it's kind of cool because if I'm, a lot of times as a Warlock player, I'll be sitting with a giant handful of, 9-mana giant demons that I can't play. And so being able to pull out one of my crappy whatever's on the board and drop down something from my hand would be kind of cool. I don't know that it's that good. I think it probably goes in a Reno deck. Like I wouldn't put it in Q block or anything like that. But
I just wanted to say it before. I'm not reading chat, so I'm looking at this card. And I'm thinking like when I play Paladin, weird Paladin stuff. But like something trades out, it's got low health, and then I slap this down and I swap it out with like something else in my hand. I like this card. This is cool. This effect is really cool. So we get this. This is free.
yeah, it's you can log in right now and you get it.
Yep.
Oh, I've been on all day.
That's fair. Okay, but I think this card's a little expensive. It's nice, and I think some classes might want it because there's not some disruption in a lot of classes. But for the classes that have disruption, they're not going to want it, and Dirty Rat is already a thing. So why am I playing a 5-mana 3/6?
It goes in a teched out Reno deck. I think you could potentially play this in like Reno Warlock or Reno Priest, but I kind of don't think so. It just depends. If you're seeing a bunch of combo, this is a disruptor.
Wait, hold up. It says swap it with a minion from your opponent's hand. If you
it says owners.
It's your owner's. Yeah, so you can use it on your minion and it pulls something from your hand, or their minion and it pulls something from their hand. Yeah.
Yeah, so like your Kobold Librarian can now be a Void Lord.
All right, maybe I'll take another look.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of this reminds me of when we saw the Warlock legendary spell for Darkmoon Fair, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is crazy. There's going to be all this and we never play it."
I like this one because it's neutral, and I'm looking at it from like I get to trade. My minion's low on health. I start with high health and goes back in my hand. I'm not sure how good it would be, but this could be a card for people who are like budget players. I felt bad because I used to say a card is good or bad, and then like people would listen to it. But being in our Discord, there's a lot of players who are on a budget, so like this could be a card that helps them if they don't have Dirty Rat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it's versatile. The cool thing with this is that it can act as a sap. It can also act as, like, if somebody's got a big taunt, you remove it. If somebody plays something with a super nasty death rattle, so like a Hadronox or, I don't know, a Death Lord or whatever, you can send it back to their hand and bam, like now you don't have to worry about the death rattle for that turn. Or even better, I think you've got like, I don't know, somebody playing, you know, a class like Paladin where they're buffing their cards. So something's got a bunch of buffs on it. You know, you toss it back to their hand, or like Mech Pally, you know, that's got a bunch of magnetic stuff. You send it back to their hand and now it's crap.
Yeah, their hand is empty basically because they magnetized everything.
I like that it's 5 mana. Like, it does have a strong effect, and you're kind of selling me on its like effect and everything. But the point is, I keep drawing back to that 5 mana spot. And I feel like at 4 it'd actually probably be like in like near an auto include. But it's something for decks to look at, which is what you kind of want at this point. Like maybe you kind of want this, depending on what is in the meta or not.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I agree. I think for free-to-play players, it's cool. What I anticipate is that this is going to be this will be in everyone's deck for the next several weeks until the new expansion drops, and then we'll pull it back out. But, you know...
Not the time to be playing combo. Don't be playing combo right now.
But hey, you know what? It's cool. I'm happy. Like, Vol'jin is a major character in the series, so happy to have Vol'jin back. And the card is just cool. It's a neat idea. Disruption is always interesting, and there's always a place. Like, this, I don't look at this and say, hey, this is just bad. Like, this is interesting. So, it reminds me of Silas Darkmoon. Like, there's a place. It's not OP. It's not anything crazy. But, like, yeah, there's a place for it. Okay, so talking about the core set real quick. So here's what's happening, right? They are including, I think it's 235 cards in the new core set. So everything that's classic and basic are rotating to wild. There's the new core set. I'm just going off the top of my dome, so I'm probably going to get something wrong here. But I think it's 235 cards. They're all free. Depending on where you're leveled up with your characters, you get the golden versions. And one of the things that they're including in that new set is that they're revamping all of the classic dragons. And so the 3 that they revealed today was a new Ysera. Yeah, so the old, like the classic and the basic cards are all going to wild. The new core set we'll get to play as well. So they're not replacing the old ones. They're just new versions. So, yeah, no. Don't cry. Your Malygos is fine.
Because there was so much confusion. I've gotten Discord messages being like, rip Malygos, like,
No.
Chat was popping off. I was so scared, dude.
No, it's cool. So here's what's happening. Classic and basic cards are going to wild, which is fine with us, right? We don't care. That's great. There's a
Malygos is coming to wild. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So basically, they're Hall of Faming a ton of cards, sense. Right? Okay. And so then there's the new core set that everybody gets for free, and included in the new core set, they're doing new versions of the classic dragons. So they revealed 3 today. The ones that they revealed today were Ysera and Deathwing and Malygos. And they changed up the effects. It's kind of a classic or a new spin on the classic effect. And so the new Ysera, instead of at the end of your turn you get a dream card, the new Ysera says, hey, it says a battle cry, you get 1 copy of each dream card, like right up front.
Oh.
But there's no more end of turn effect, right?
Wait, you get the 0. Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much. They different things cost different amounts, right? So you get the minions and the spells and whatever else.
The 0 mana one's awesome. Okay.
The new Deathwing, it has a similar effect, but it's a little bit different. What it says is destroy all of the board or all other minions on the board, discard 1 card for each minion destroyed. And so
I thought that one was really cool. I saw that one a little bit. It was one of the few ones I saw. I thought that one was like on flavor with the old one too. Like that one was cool.
Well, it's cool because you don't necessarily have to throw away your whole hand now.
Oh, I mean, I still think it's absolute trash, but I thought it was cool.
Well, you can discover it.
Yo, this guy's on the website?
Yeah.
They should be on the website, yeah. It sounds like they might be changing the dream cards as well. More cards too. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So, and then the other is
clearly the best one I think I saw.
Yeah, and then the other one was the Malygos, the new Malygos. What it says, it's also a battle cry. It says battle cry, fill your hand with spells until your hand's full, or something like that. So that's why people are saying rip Malygos. I mean, it's very different than what it was.
Yo, I got a question.
Yo.
Are we covering this new Shaman Legendary?
In the coming weeks, as we see more cards revealed, we can kind of dig in a little bit more to what's coming in the core set, and we can do reviews or whatever. There was such a giant dump of information all crammed into like 45 minutes that my head is still spinning, and I think that we got most of it. And then they actually snuck in one other thing that was kind of under the radar. There's a nerf to High Abyss Allura. Of course, this is meant for standard because people are abusing it with like turn 4 you would coin, or turn 4 you play with a coin, and then you play Tip the Scales for free and get a whole giant board full of Murlocs in Paladin. So all they did was increase the cost by 1, so it costs 5 now.
Oh, Laura. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like how they did this. Like I'm fine with the change and everything. It's whatever. But I don't like how this felt like it. Like you said, it's sneaked under the radar. Like it's a nerf. It's a card nerf. Like this should have been like front and center, not on a BlizzCon day. Like you knew you were gonna nerf this card. Just nerf it. Just go ahead and say it. Don't sneak it under the radar for us to all of a sudden find, because people that don't play this card, they're not going to freaking find this. I've never seen this card in a while. Apparently, it was a big deal, but who's going to know to disenchant this?
It does pop up in the client. I opened the client right before the show, and it was the first thing I saw is that it was nerfed.
But that's terrible. If
nobody knows it's coming.
Finding out about that when you open the client, like we're all connected. We're all on Twitter, and that's how you find out about it.
That's how I found out. I had no idea.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a question. Where is the picture of these dragons? I see a whole bunch of other cards that were not about, but
I was looking for them too. I can't find the dragons.
All right.
A whole bunch of cards.
All right, hold on, you guys. I would do this. All right, I got you guys. There we go.
There we go.
So here's the 3 new dragons. So
Malygos.
I guess let me start out by saying there's a handful of new cards that they're releasing slowly. At some point, we'll compile them all and do some kind of review. In the meantime, here's the 3 new dragons.
Damn, look at that thing. That Deathwing. That's cool.
Yeah, Deathwing looks awesome. It's gonna look sweet and gold, I bet.
All right. GulDaniel's back. So here's the new cards. And I think I was wrong. I was going off the top of my head, so I think I was incorrect on a couple. So I'll just read them. Ysera the Dreamer, 9 mana, 4/12. Battlecry, add 1 of each dream card to your hand. Malygos the Spellweaver, 9 mana, 4/12. Battlecry, draw spells until your hand is full. So I think this is draw spells from your deck, which is pretty cool, actually. It's probably a build around. And then the last up is Deathwing the Destroyer, 10 mana, 12/12. Battlecry, destroy all other minions. Discard a card for each destroyed. So this is interesting. I like the new Deathwing quite a bit. I don't think the others are bad either. So my big question with this core set is, okay, all of the classic, all of the basic cards are going to wild. That's fine. They're basically Hall of Faming a bazillion cards. So we get no dust, but that's whatever. Mm-hmm. What I wonder is, what they've said is, hey, this new core set is going to be around for this year. And then at the end of that year, we might change it around some. And so what my question was is, hey, what happens when they create a new card for the core set and then that year is over? Like, what happens to those cards if they're going to have a new core set? Like, I hope they just go to wild, but like, I'd hate to, you know.
So from my understanding, they just give you the core set. Like,
yeah,
they just hand it to you. So when they do anything to the core set, it doesn't change anything because they gave it to us for free. My main concern is the fact that they just Hall of Famed a gazillion cards and didn't give us any dust, because there are people that collected classic packs and everything that these cards are not going to actually be playable anymore, and they just Hall of Famed like 6 or 7 legendaries that people collected.
Finessed.
They're totally finessing us, and nobody's saying anything because like, oh my god, core set and everything, but they totally did a Hall of Fame thing.
You know, as long as the core set, so you get all these for free, and then you get the gold ones for free too, which is cool.
But you don't own them necessarily, because the way that it's been worded is, so if somebody's a standard player, they're given these cards, but next year when it changes, those cards disappear out of their collection.
Maybe, but they didn't say, I don't think they said that. I think they're still.
I think they did.
This is what I'll be asking. This is the question I'll be asking on this week's AMA with Dean is, hey, what happens to the new core set when it rotates? Are they just gone, or do they go to wild? Now, I asked Ridiculous Hat earlier today, because he's like my Hearthstone dad / guru, and he usually knows, and he knows a bunch of the devs and stuff. And so what I asked was like, hey, when these rotate, do they just like poof vanish, or do they go to wild, or what happens? And he goes, number one, I don't know. And number two, like, it'd be crazy if they just vanished. Like, they put so much work into them. Like, wouldn't it be weird if they were just gone? Hold on, I'm just going to read his tweet or his text here. I said, question for you. When they create a new card for the core set, what happens when it rotates? Gone or wild? He said, we don't know yet, but most likely wild. I would guess free, but craftable if you weren't playing at the time or hadn't unlocked it. I said, fingers crossed they go to wild. And he says, there's no way they just vanish. And I tend to agree. And the reason why I agree is that they put in so much time and work, like designing these. If they're just now like deleted from the game, that seems so weird. It just seems strange to me. Not that they haven't done weird things that don't make sense before, but
I believe the core set is going to be all cards that are in the game. It's just what cards can be played in standard. I don't think they're like creating specific cards to be set in the core set. Like, I think it's all like, it's a collection of cards from classic and basic and random sets along the way that they feel like are core to this set year. So they don't necessarily vanish, but they aren't in standard for that set.
No, but but they are creating some new cards for it.
Are creating new cards for it?
Yeah, that's what these dragons. That's what these dragons are.
What?
Fellas.
Yeah, dude, these dragons are for the new core set.
Yo, fellas.
Yo.
So on playhearthstone.com, it breaks down the entire core set, how it works.
All right, what does it say?
I don't know if you guys want to keep going into it on the show.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're okay. Yeah, what does it say?
It's just explaining where the cards are coming from. So looking at where these cards come from, you know, Hall of Fame, Demon Hunter Initiate, Ashes of Outland, Wild, Classic, and Basic, it shows that 29 cards are new. So I would imagine that those cards would just like rotate into whatever Wild set or just be a set on itself, and then new cards come in. Because looking at this breakdown, it looks like they'll have the freedom to just pick different cards from different sets and then just say this is the core set.
Like, are these legendaries maybe like the Baron neutrals?
No, these are new.
That's
these
what I'm.
are,
Yeah,
Like what? I'm so confused.
Oh, because they have the classic watermark on them.
You're right.
Well, actually, Ysera doesn't.
No, they have dragon watermarks on them.
The Malagos,
Or it's a
and the
griffith.
Death Ring have
It might be the
Oh.
year of the griffin. That might be the watermark on it.
Malagos
Yeah,
is different from Deathwing and Ysera is different from Malagos and
Yeah,
Deathwing.
Ysera is
The
different. The other
watermark
ones-
behind the battle cry, it's different.
The ones on the the ones on the website, or the ones that are up on the stream right here, are different than. Hold on,
Oh yeah, they're different.
I'm gonna go off script real quick. Let's do this. All right, hold on. Can you guys see my screen now? The web browser. Okay, so check this out. On here, these show a different watermark, and I'm 99% sure that is the year of the Griffin watermark.
Okay.
So
I assume they probably rotate at the end of the year. Like they're just like wild cards.
right. So
No,
there's
in
only So there's only 29 new cards. It looks like.
Well, hold up. If they're rotating every single year, they're rotating the classic. If these have that's so weird. This is the year of the Griffin. So I guess just 1 year these would be, because they wouldn't be the Baron forged in the Barons. It's not the Baron's background or watermark.
It's not. Yeah. You know what? Who knows? They could. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll have more as we go along, and we'll probably get some answers.
If you scroll down a little bit further, you can see that you pay 2 mana for the hero power, and you get a 1 mana totem, and that's how bad Shaman is.
Oh man. Hey, they are buffing a couple of cards. So Feral Spirit is 3 mana, summon 2/3 Spirit Wolves with Taunt, Overload 1. Lightning Storm has been updated to deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. It's no longer 2 to 3. It's now just 3. And then Earth Elemental is 5 mana, 7/8 Taunt, Overload 2. I think it used to Overload for 3, right?
Yeah.
So these are being updated a little bit. They're trying to make Shaman suck a little bit less, but
good luck.
So one other thing, we all get a free golden pack when the new patch comes out.
Awesome.
So, with the classic mode.
Oh.
And then that artwork for Mercenaries is pretty dope.
The new Valera looks fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, since Valera. So back to the news. They did release today a preview of the Book of Heroes for Rogue. Rogue is next month. I believe they said March 3rd. I think it's coming out. This is a preview of what it looks like. She's wearing all black with some red highlights, which is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
That's
it.
pretty.
So hey, all of a sudden, some Rogue skins finally.
Right.
They heard you guys. And then this is kind of interesting. So there's a new card back that just came out today. You get it for free when you go into the client, into the shop, 1 per account. This is the first card back that they've ever done that doesn't have the Hearthstone swirl on it. So, but it looks pretty dope.
Does that mean, like, so even if you play on other regions, you only get it on 1 account? So, like, you have to pick which region you want it?
I don't know, but if you play on multiple regions, I would say you better get it on your main account, or your main one first, before you try on one of the other ones, just in case. I'd hate for
Let me do some research right now.
Yeah. And then another thing that they slid in without saying anything was that the Lunar New Year card back, it's in the shop right now. So if you didn't have it, yeah. So 500 gold or $3.
They saw me using it. I'm switching. I swear I've been using it.
It makes sense because we have the Lunar New Year event going on right now. But yeah,
they released the foreskins, and I've been using that card back. It's awesome.
That's the name of this episode. Release the foreskins.
There it is.
Okay, you can get the card back on all regions. I just did check.
Okay. That's pretty.
Mike died over there.
Mike's-
Oh God! All right. So that's what I got for the news. I think that's mostly everything. I think there's some stuff that we didn't talk about. There's some bundles that are available right now. There's a new Druid hero. It's a Tauren. I don't remember the name. Everyone would be mad about that, but I don't really like Druid. It's cool. If you buy the expensive bundle, you get the Tauren hero for your Druid. It's one that has a lot of lore apparently, and some people were excited about that.
Goliath's shaking his head right now.
I'm sure he is, and probably a few other people as well. So we'll get into. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do review shows. When they've released the full core set, we can take a look at it. When they've released the full new set, we'll take a look at it and figure out how to review those for the show. One thing, just if anybody's interested, I think that this is kind of non-news, but they did show today 2 cards that were coming from Wild to Standard. One of them is a Noyotron. The other one is the Rogue Minion 5 mana, 4 mana, the 5/4 Tomb Pillager.
Tomb Pillager, yeah.
The 5/4 with the Death Rattle, you get a coin, I think, something like that.
Oh, back to Standard?
Yeah.
Cute.
Cool.
That's a good word for it, cute. All right. I mean, we don't care, right?
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
Standard hasn't been relevant to me since it started looking like Arena.
Yeah.
Go in there and do something silly and then hop out.
Creatures for
Achievement hunting is a good thing for Standard, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a little bit of a different approach to our deck of the week. So I'm going to pass it over to Mike.
All right, yeah. So this week we're gonna switch it up. Usually we have our guests bring a deck, and all of us just kind of sit here and stare into their soul as they sweat and they try to squirm in their seat and figure out how to explain the deck to us. So we just gotta to break it up and take the pressure off of them. And each of us will bring a deck that we can all talk about that we're currently playing. So for me, the deck that I'm playing is a pure secret Libram Paladin. And that's not even the real name because there's a question there. So I got to figure out how I want to, name this deck and market it. But it's pretty crazy. Based on Slizzle standards, it goes past 2 names. So it tips into the territory of suckage. Because it's got 4 names. But like I said, there's a question there. So it's actually got 5 names. So it's pretty crazy. But it's pretty fun. It beats
the best
up.
description. I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. It beats up on Reno Priest. I did some work against them today. They come across this issue where I like to play my 6 mana Mysterious Challenger. Drop it on the board. Boom, yellow Christmas tree. Freaks them out. So they don't know which order to go in. And a lot of them, I realize, they're playing, the ones who have played against Secret Paladin, they're playing against the old sequence. From a certain time period, but what's cool is they don't realize that I have different secrets in this deck, and they always try to play cute, and they'll play the coin thinking it's oh my yog, and then they'll burn that coin for no reason. For some reason, every time I play this deck, I always have oh my yog to dictate and play it at a certain point in time because it really is a counter spell. It's funny. I've played oh my yog and kind of went all in, knowing what the priest had left. And this will wrap up my 5 minutes of the story. It was a cool game. Playing against a Reno Priest and played Leodrin, refilled my hand, had a whole bunch of Librams, so I'm buffing up my minion. The Librams cost 0, so it's easy to get Galvadon. Got that. Yeah. I had everything set up, and they thought they were cool because I had my Christmas tree of secrets up. So they played Zeph. Actually, they played Raised Dead. And they rolled the dice. I'll give them to them. It was a 1 out of 9 or 2 out of 9. They got Zeph back. They said greetings. You know how priest players do it. Slap Zeph down. And then they discovered Flare. And I'm just sitting here chilling. I really had this same little water jug right here. Shout out to Kobe. Kobe's on it. And they played Flare. But they forgot that I had Oh My Yog. So the Flare transformed into something else. And I think it actually did damage to them. And it was crazy. It was just it was a mess, yo. It's crazy. That spell, I mean, that secret itself on my Yogg, obviously this deck is goofy, but that's where I'm at now. I've hit 11 stars. I hit leaderboard, day 1 legend, hit rank 80, you know what I'm saying? And my attention now is more of playing decks that are not anywhere on the radar or anyone's radar. I had to dig this deck up from I think from Spiver, maybe a year, 2 years ago. It was a while ago. I forget when. But it's just fun to play stuff like this. So
how many people hovered over your Mysterious Challenger?
Every single one. Every single one. And you know what? Only one person let me play Galvadon. 2 people let me play it. 1 person let me like assemble all the adapts, and then they conceded. But another person actually let me attack with it, and it was like 16 to face Wind Fury. It was crazy. Man.
Nice.
I love it.
That's
Love
awesome.
it.
Speaking of Oh My Yog, I had the craziest game this week. It was after I had done my League Series battles for the week, but I was doing some practice matches, and I had the best Oh My Yog that I've ever had. I was playing a Quest Paladin against, like an all spells Quest Paladin against somebody who's playing Spell Hunter heavy on the secrets, and they played a 2-mana secret, 2-mana Hunter secret, and Oh My Yog triggered, and it transferred it into Explore Ungoro.
No.
It says,
my
so if you don't
God.
know what that card does, it says replace your entire deck with copies of Discover a Card. And so now their entire deck just gone, and every turn discover.
That's
It was
such
like
hot.
I was
garbage.
cackling. You know, the neighbors could probably hear. It was so funny. It was like that 1 in a million.
That's cool. No, I can see the neighbors. Hey, what's so funny? You could be like, Explore Goro. They're like, oh damn.
You got him good.
Right? Oh, through the wall.
Man,
Yeah.
That's dirty. That is dirty. Good play, man.
It's great.
That was something I would have never seen coming. Anyway,
I guess the deck survives too because it didn't really rely on high Abyssal lore either too. Kind of just playing it because it's a good card.
you know the stats are good for the mana cost. Even at 5, it's
They
fine.
were.
I mean,
All right.
yeah. It's a paladin deck, you know, it's fine.
That's fair.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I think it's fine at 5. I don't think that killed the card. All right, so this week I have been trying to jam out wins on my final couple of classes to get 1K. And so I'm really close with Rogue, I'm really close with Warrior. And so I had started out playing some janky Rogue stuff and not really having a good time, and I have since joined the cult of Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, what?
If you guys never hear from me again, that's why.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, I made the mistake of asking a question about this deck, and I got a dissertation in response.
Oh boy.
It was about 37 responses on Twitter about and
I believe
so
it.
okay, so if you guys don't know, right? Dead Man's Hand is the 2-mana spell in Warrior that basically shuffles whatever's in your hand back into your deck, copies of it. And so you can sort of go infinite. It's like, this is about as grindy of a control deck as it possibly gets. And there's an entire Discord of Dead Man's Hand players. This Discord has over 1,000 people in it. I've never seen a Discord this large before of people who only talk about this deck. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. The best thing you could call it is a cult, because I don't know what else. Like, that's what it is.
1,000 heads,
Dude.
Do they play on casual? Because I don't run into that deck on ladder.
I run into this deck very seldomly, and when I do, I lose. And I think one of them was like a final boss for me in Legend this month, and I thought I was going to win, and I didn't. And the hard thing with it is you can't tell at first what you're playing, because it's like, oh, is it bombs? Like, oh, is it a Galakron?
Yeah.
Like, no. And then you're like, what is this? Like, the cards are not super good by themselves, but it's just long, grindy matches, and you just don't lose. You have to be really patient, but when you face up against any sort of aggro deck or like Secret Mage or something, then you just win, and it's pretty cool. So I don't know. We'll see. If I'm not around next week, it's because I've gone down the rabbit hole of Dead Man's Hand, but hopefully.
He's gone. He's a goner.
Look, I just want to get my 1K portrait because it's really cool, and then I'm done. Anyways, that's me. Hydra, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so like you, I'm kind of playing something I don't normally play. Last week I touched on how I started playing some Priest, and I have not touched that class in years, basically since Dragon Priest was a thing with Draconoid Operative. Like, I love that deck, and I only played that for the first couple hundred wins, and I have not touched Priest since. So I decided I'm just going to grind it out. What's the quickest, stupidest way that I could play Priest? And I was looking at Slizzle's tier list, and he recommended a Big Priest. So I joined the evil Big Priest players. Never played it when it was good before, but it seems to be good now. When I started off last week, I think my record, I said I was 28-6. It was absolutely dirty. I think that was 83% win rate. It was just gross. Eventually, people started teching a bit. They were really diluting your res pool, like poison seeds, all sorts of stuff. You were just bringing back nonsense. And I'm still at a 73% win rate with it, which is still gross. Yeah, that's after I started using. Like, it's...
Wow.
Yeah, it's just gross. It's got to be one of the best decks right now. It's like anytime I run into an odd Paladin or anything aggro, like you can be screwed. Like you just hard mulligan for your Shadow Essences, right? And then the game is, if you get one, you're good. You just need to be able to play it before. Like if you can discount it with palm reading or whatever, or you're on coin, like you're basically good. All matches are winnable. Like other than Reno Priest. Reno Priest destroys you. It's not fun. You can have a full board and they just either psychic scream you, or
they go over
just
the top. Yeah,
they go over the top. They ping you in the face the whole time. I didn't have all the cards to play this on EU. I crafted what I needed, except for I couldn't get Sphere of Sapience. Here's the difference between having Sphere and not having Sphere. So I was at 73% win rate on NA with Sphere. On EU, I just put in a second Holy Smite, and I'm at 57%. So 26-20 was my record on EU with it, because with Sphere of Sapience, you draw a minion, you just put it back, right? Like you can pick exactly like what you do not want to draw. So every time you get something you don't like, throw it back. Hopefully, you get the Shadow Essences. So big difference in win rate. Also, the meta may be contributing a little bit. I suppose it's not that much different over there. But yeah, so if you have Sphere, definitely put it in the deck. I'd put it there. But so I'm just grinding out the wins I need, because I don't know. I just sit there and I stare at my sad Priest that had, I don't know, 300 wins or whatever, and now I'm over 400. So just get it out of the way, and I'll never have to touch the class again.
That's what I'm talking about. Get it done, knock it out.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. And I will say, for the people that are listening to the audio version of this, we will put all of the codes for these decks into the show notes and onto the website. So if you guys want to play what we've been playing, then you guys will have the codes for that.
Oh, yeah, because that's the only place you'll ever find my list. It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing. Please don't craft it. If you have the cards, play it, but don't craft it. Oh, my God.
Hey, this game's about having fun. That's okay. So
crafting, go broke. Next.
Right.
Winning's fun.
Well, and so speaking of that, right? So GulDaniel, you were saying that you've been playing Darklair essentially for like the last 4 months, and
speaking of winning,
and all right. I'll hit you up later. We'll do a deep dive into that. But the one that you brought this week looks like a lot of fun as well. So let me pass the mic over to you.
For those familiar with me, Malagos is actually my one true love. That's why I was freaking out so bad when they were talking about a Malagos rework. I was like, hold up, like, don't touch my baby. This is kind of like one of the spicier lists I've been working on for a while. I got the list actually from Ben from work, who's a friend of the podcast. I know of your guys, of this Quest Malagos Warlock thing. And with Lorekeeper Polecat being printed, being able to almost guarantee getting a zero mana Malagos or Alexstrasza. You can do some pretty ridiculous things kind of earlier in the game with a quick high roll with Backfire too. I haven't played a ton of this list on ladder. It's more of my like casual, like I'm just having a quick game or two. I played a lot against friends. I've done a couple play tests. But Malagos historically, I don't have a lot of stats to back this up because I'm the only one willing to try, but really good into Darklair. I think this list is pretty decent. It was decent to old Secret Mage. It used to have a lot of healing. It has little less healing now. It just, you farm your priest. We were talking about Big Priest just a second ago. Like, Big Priest don't want to see this. I'm sorry, I'm getting a 0 mana goose. I'm sending spells to the face. I don't care about your taunts. I'm going It's faster than Reno Priest. This has been kind of like my pet list for Malygos. I've got, your more control version, more dark portal version. This one is it's a little trickier to play. The lines are a little bit tighter, but I feel like it's got a lot of potential. And this meta, Backfire is insane. Being able to Solarium, Plot Twist, you often complete the quest turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and then you're just tapping for free mana after that. And just the Backfire Spellstone interaction is probably one of my favorites in the game. Spellstone is one of my favorite cards. I entered in Kobolds and Catacombs, and being Backfire, draw 3 cards, and any card you hit, it gets that buff. Oh, that's so nice. That's so satisfying. It's a lot of fun. It's not complete bait. It's very difficult to play. I'm still tinkering with it a little bit. I don't know if I need to add like Armor Smith or like a Mistress somewhere to get a little bit more healing. Moarg Enforcer was something I was trying a little bit.
Yeah, Moarg can be pretty good with the dragons, especially because you can get some health back, and yeah.
Exactly. And then Moarg Lesser Emesis Spellstone for like deal 14, heal 14. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
But I love this. This is pretty cool.
Fun thing I've been playing with.
This quest Warlock. I know I like Malygos. I like this combination. This Warlock. I'm not you, but I had a small little cool window where I was playing in like Master Tours, and I played it in Standard, and like I just couldn't believe how many times I got Malygos for 0, and I was just like, I was like, how is this? Wait, no. What's the emote? Like, how is this possible? Like literally every time, dude. Like, how does that deck work like that? Like, you're the master at it, so talk to us. It's crazy.
You feel like you're cheating. I mean, the game plan is you just draw as fast as you can. You try to. I mulligan hard for. You got to be aggressive with this deck. You got to mulligan hard for Plot Twist. You want to complete the quest as soon as possible. And then you try to get that Lorekeeper Polk out. As soon as you can Lorekeeper Polk out tap, you're good to go. Of course, you get the Malygos or the Extraza. But it really is, you're just a race to complete the quest. You want to get that Plot Twist because no matter what you get in the mulligan, don't matter. Everything is designed to draw, move through your deck as fast as possible. And then my favorite part about Malygos Warlock and why I love the control version so much is you can use the removal against aggro. You can use all your damage spells just against aggro to fend off and keep you alive. And then when you deem best to switch the flip and then just kill your opponent. Another Breath is an amazing tool to fend off aggro, Dark Bomb, even the occasional Soulfire. Just, you got to let it rip when you're playing Malygos Warlock.
Got it.
It's a lot of fun. Crazy Netherwing, absolutely insane card. It might be my favorite card in Hearthstone. Hellfire on a Stick. Absolutely blows the game.
Wait, Crazy Netherwing?
Yeah, that's the dragon, the 5 mana, 5/5, deal 3 if you're holding a dragon.
Well, ain't that a coinky dink? Ain't a Dragon Week coming up? Look at that, boy. Oh.
I'm excited for Dragon Week coming out. This is definitely something I'm playing right now a little bit. Play testing a little bit. And Glacier Shard is the one card in the list to keep an eye on. Glacier Shard's really good right now in Wild. Against Darklair, against Big Priest, against Kingsbane. Glacier Shard is kind of OP right now.
It buys you a turn, right? I mean,
exactly. It's Glacier Shard is the new Dark Pact. It's 1 mana heal 8. I'm preventing a giant from smacking me in the face. I'm preventing a Scrapyard Colossus from hitting me in the face. It's like Secret Mage. There's a lot of hate to a Secret Mage. I get that everybody hates playing against it. Secret Mage is not that great. It's good. It's consistent. It'll farm you a little bit, but you just got to learn that matchup. You got to learn how to beat Secret Mage with your deck, and you can stop playing your Eater of Secrets. You'll be fine. Trust me. Trust me. You'll be fine. But yeah, this was a fun deck. I wanted to bring something different instead of Darklair because that's not a great deck to co-op or do anything like that. That's more of let's learn together, watch what I do, take that, and we'll input it. Like, we'll talk after the turn. Like, when you're going in Darklair, it's like, I gotta go, man. I'm going.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring something a little bit fun, a little spicy, a little something me.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys,
Beautiful.
I want to say, take a break real quick to say a big, giant thank you to our patrons of the show, especially you, Shokunin, as the executive producer of our show. Thank you so much for your support. Really awesome guy, and really appreciate his support. And then also thank you to the other patrons of our show. We have a couple new ones this week, which is super awesome, and thank you guys so much. So our patrons, Disruptor108, Claudette G, Daniel B, Justin M, Wildcard, Aramorn, Ben from Work, Corin J, and AJ Gomez. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your help, your financial support. If anybody out there watching or listening is interested in supporting the show financially, you can visit our website at borntobewildhs.com. If you click on the Find Us page, there's a link to our Patreon. We got a bunch of awesome merch on the website as well. Thank you very much to Wildcard and his wife who run the merch shop for us. Yeah, the stuff, it turned out way better than I could have expected. The quality,
awesome.
yeah, the quality's great, and I've been a big fan of it, a lot better than I had ever hoped. So I'm super excited for that. If you guys are interested in checking that out, if you go to our website, again, it's borntobewildhs.com. There's a merch link that you can see. There's hats and shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. Also, if you're somebody who is on Twitch a lot, we've got several new emotes. They are ready this week, so you guys can use them if you guys are subscribers to the show on Twitch. We've got 3 of them in there now, and a 4th one is on its way.
Y'all's new emotes are really hype, and the merch is tier 1. I still haven't got my Born to Be Wild merch. I just got a Gizmo shirt to hype up Rod and everything, so I think that's my next superfluous purchase that I don't really need, but I want it.
I got a Gizmo shirt. I gotta get a Gizmo shirt.
I got the Gizmo in prison one.
I will tell you, when you're having a bad day and you want a little pick-me-up, check out Rod Johnston's Twitter, and you see videos of him throwing dog toys to his little dog, and the dog tries to catch and like fails 99% of the time in slow motion, and it's so funny. It is so funny. Yeah. The artist that we use is the same artist who did all of the emotes and the artwork for Rotted Zombie. That's where I found her. Her name's Christina Oe, and she's amazing. She's very, very, very good. So I'm super excited. She's done a lot of work for us in the past as well. So
definitely check her out, because Rod has got some tier S emotes, and these are right up there. That's what I thought. I was like, dang, these look kind of close. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's hard. It's, when you look at them and they're so tiny, it's kind of hard to tell. But when you look at them big, she did some artwork for us as well that we've got available on posters and T-shirts and stuff. A separate version of our dragon. Have kind of a different design in the works with her for some kind of exclusive stuff that should be kind of fun. I'm not quite ready to unveil that yet, but the plan is there.
Eventually, I feel like you'll get a Warlock emote, because this is Born to Be Warlock after all.
Right?
You keep trying to hide it, but it creeps back in there. We find our way to get some fell magic through the cracks.
Hey, are we good to transition into this weekly challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, for new listeners, they're asking, what is a weekly challenge? Well, initially, this idea was created by Hydralisk. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right. So just want to, give the props and the credit. So the winner of the challenge, obviously will get the bragging rights throughout the community and in the Discord, but they also will receive 2 packs as well. For last week's challenge, the challenge was to create the largest weapon. Before we announce the winner, is there anything we should touch on, Nate?
Sorry, I was chewing. I muted the mic. I'm trying to be a good podcaster here. So
that's good.
What I will say is that there's a different challenge each week. Yeah, different challenge each week. We'll announce it on the show. The idea is anybody that's watching or listening, then they have the entire week to participate in the challenge. And then whoever wins, it depends what the challenge is. There may be a clear winner, or there may be multiple winners. In the event that it's something that multiple people can pull off, we'll put everybody in like a raffle and do a wheel decide for the winner. Otherwise, like this last week, it was something different where each person had to one up the next one. And so they were building the biggest weapon. And so it was like, here's a 10 attack, here's a 12 attack, here's a 20 attack. And then Wildcard jumped in with the 77, and we told him, no, we're banning that card.
Leave it to wild card to absolutely break the challenge.
He's a deck building genius. So, but we realized it was the card that in Warrior that gives you attack based on how much armor you have, and so it's not quite in the spirit of the challenge. But you get super props for doing that because it was pretty incredible. But anyways, yeah, different challenge each week. And we'll reveal it here on the show. Everyone's got a week to do it, and then we'll announce the winners on the following week's show. The idea is really to have community participation, and so we'll try to do some challenges that don't, require you to have all kinds of crazy cards or whatever. We'll try to do some fun ones here, and we'll take, I'm happy to take feedback from listeners or guests. We had one challenge that was from Martian Boo, and I think GulDaniel, I don't know if you caught it or not, but his challenge to everybody was, we had been doing these like, hey, get lethal with a Doomsayer, get lethal with this other card. And he goes, hey,
Doomsayer, that's awesome.
He goes, hey, I got one for you guys. Get lethal with Sphere of Sapience. So if you guys don't know, it's a zero attack weapon, right? And not just that, you had to do it with all 10 classes. And so it's easy, right? In Rogue or Demon Hunter, hey, easy peasy, but try to do it in Priest.
Yeah, the cat and greenskin. One attack Sapience.
And hope nobody concedes before they get hit.
I love that one. That was way better than what I was thinking. I was thinking blow your dust on Hyreek the Bat and see how big you can get that one. Everyone wasted time. But no, I like that challenge. I might want to participate in that one.
Yeah, so our winner for this week was Mikkel, who ended up, the screenshot here shows a 37 attack Shadowblade, but he has another screenshot where it shows all the buffs and it went up to 39, he said, but nobody else had close. I think before this they were at 33. So 37 attack Shadowblade, which is a rogue 3-mana weapon. So that was pretty crazy. So big shout out to Mikkel. You get bragging rights, of course, and we'll send you a couple of packs on us. That was pretty impressive. So what do we got for this week?
Is this challenge up to me? Because I have a challenge, but this is super difficult and I don't see anybody beating it, and I don't want to upset the other hosts here for me implementing this challenge.
Hey, I mean, let's see what you got.
Okay. So it's a good thing we give everybody a week to complete these challenges to be entered into the raffle, because this challenge is going to need about a week. I got this idea based on a match that I had in week 1 of the listener series. Played against a fine gentleman named Nate Wolf. And in this Dragon Ball Z-like encounter, we had a lot of crazy blows, and we both were able to summon one of the most legendary minions of all legends. So in this week's challenge, send in a screenshot of you summoning Voltron after discovering Mimiron's head.
What?
Have fun, gamers.
Out of here.
After discovering. Okay.
It's doable.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'll tell you what, we cannot make them too easy because we blame it on Seth and Mega Mog, who about 3 minutes after we announced this have already posted screenshots of them doing it in the Discord, and we can't have that. It's too easy. It's too easy. I love you guys, but I'm tired of giving packs to the same people every week.
Yeah, and so this one, anybody
in this one. Gotta see that.
Anybody could get it now because it's gonna be a little bit RNG.
So there are certain cards that I know for a fact that you can get Mimiron. So I'm just waiting to see who actually is able to summon Voltron. It was Nate. That week 1. That was pretty cool. Like, we both got it in our own respective games. Like, that was pretty cool. I know you won, but still,
it was close. It was close. That was pretty crazy. I will say. So it was Mech Week in our listener series, and in the. That was another one where I screamed and the neighbors heard. Was the final match, right? I'm playing this really awful mech warrior deck, and I got Mike down to 10 health, and I dropped Iron Juggernaut. So it shuffles in the 10.
Oh yeah,
the bomb into the deck that does 10. Played Iron Jug, passed the turn, next turn, Mike draws the bomb off the top, and I just yo.
That's great.
Next door neighbors, oh, good job, dude.
You got that jug? Yeah, man. Top that jug.
That's awesome. I love those moments.
It was crazy.
It was awesome. That was nuts. I was like, damn.
I felt bad, but it was so funny. Like just the timing of like.
Nah.
I played back in the day. I played so many games with Iron Jug, and the bomb is always the last card. That's how that deck works. And so the one time that it actually popped off, oh my god,
That's awesome.
it was something else. All right, that's gonna be a difficult challenge. I'm excited for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. One thing is guaranteed: it will not be complete in the next half an hour.
I like that. So the way that you guys have to show proof, unfortunately, you got to join the Discord. So if you don't know what Discord is, it's basically the only social media that you need. It's kind of a place where people hang out, program that you can download, app on your phone or on your computer, and it's got a bunch of different channels in it. And we've got wild deck lists. We've got a bunch of different things. Basically, it's for the community to hang out and chat and share things. And so what you've got to do is once you complete the challenge, you either take a screenshot or you give us a link to like your HS replay of the game and you post it. There's a channel in the Discord called contest entries and you post it there. And then we can see it. If you post it somewhere else, we're not going to find it because there's just too much going on. But if you post it there, we'll see it. And other people will see it as well. And so I'm excited for that. Seth, he said, I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay.
So
But hey, real quick, for those who don't use Discord is one of my favorite social media platforms because it is very much a focus group of people that you may already have a connection to previous. And if you don't, when you get into the Discord, typically, if you're in a good community, everybody in there can vouch for somebody else. So this would be a space where you're not going to run into randoms and a lot of bad energy. For those who don't use Discord, because I see a lot of comments where they're just like, nah, it's not for me. But this is kind of the place where you want to be if you are looking to be social and talk about a game that you do like, because Hearthstone does bring us all together in this shared community space. And I think it's awesome, as opposed to a lot of different social media platforms. Just want to put that out there for myself.
Well, I agree. And for people who if I understand not liking social media, I mean, I met most of my Hearthstone friends through Twitter. That just happened to be where everybody was. But for people who are not interested in social media, this is not like normal social media. You don't get a bunch of ads and a bunch of political junk. I mean, we keep it pretty tight reins on it, and it's a lot of fun. You don't need Twitter. You don't need Facebook. You don't need, whatever. You can just download this app, and it's been great.
Yeah. And so we need a screenshot of the Discover and then also of Summering Mimiron's head, correct?
Well, yeah, because we need proof that they discovered it. Because if we just see the Voltron, for those of you guys who don't even know, the way Voltron, the Mimiron's head is a old school mech minion. I think it's from GVG. Anyways, it's a mech minion, and what it says is if you've got 3 at the end, what is it? The end of the turn, start of the turn, end of the turn.
Is at the start. Yeah.
At the start of the turn, if you've got 3 mechs on the board, including Mimiron's head, it converts all 3 of them into Voltron, which is a minion that has Super Wind Fury, the only Super Wind Fury card I think I've ever seen.
Mega Wind Fury?
Oh, it's Mega Wind Fury. My bad.
Mega, yeah.
It attacks 4 times instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make it my mission to get kills with this. I've done this combo many times just because it was fun, but I never discovered into it.
Hey, real quick, because of what I saw happen last week, since Nate had asked, I just want to say it right here as the person who was given the power to create this challenge. Here's the official rule. So if and when people try to jump in and change it, it was said here. You need to discover Mimiron's head. I don't care how. Screenshot. And then you need to summon Voltron and then screenshot. Those are the 2 steps.
Has to be in the same game.
Yeah. If,
in the same game.
No, hold on. Wait. If anyone tries to say different or change it, it won't count. You need to discover Mimiron, take a screenshot, and then you need to summon Voltron within the same game, like Nate said, in case someone tries to wiggle room. and then you need to send those to us. If they're not in the same game and not discovered that way, then it's not going to work. Crafting Mimron and then getting Voltron won't work. You got to discover it. There's plenty of ways to do it. I'm not giving anybody a hint. I've thought about it for a while. It's pretty cool.
And if you haven't ever got to pull that off, it's very satisfying.
Oh, it's epic. That music. Oh, man.
People are asking, do you need to get lethal with the Voltron or just summon it?
Well, I mean, if you summon Voltron, you get to attack 4 times. So
I hope you get lethal.
If you don't win there, damn.
I mean, I guess it'd just be the cherry on top, but
it'd be the cherry. I would assume that people would be winning. So if that has to be a rule,
your opponent should just shame concede.
Well, especially since the decks that you're playing aren't the best decks.
One thing that I'm sorry.
To pull off.
One thing that I forgot to add: this can be in casual or it can be ranked. Cannot be against a friend. Cannot be against the innkeeper. Because that's too easy. Doesn't have to be on ladder. Does not have to be on ladder. It can, but you can. So you can be on wild ladder. You can be on wild casual. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
What if you run into your friend on ladder?
Well, the screenshot will show if you're on ladder. That's fine. If you guys can magically queue into, you guys that are sitting at top 10 legend. If you're gonna play this on ladder, you're gonna tank your rank so hard. So please, by all means, go for it. Odyssey, you can say goodbye to your 11 stars. And
so you say that, but back before my play group, side tangent, Mr. Blonde, for a brief couple months, my buddy, literally on that wall, he was a mech paladin like wizard. He finished 8 1 month, so he has the highest finish in our like play group. He holds that against me. And then he had a couple like really high like legend finishes with Mech Paladin. But I swear, every day we just be sitting there like talking and hanging out playing Hearthstone. And as soon as like we probably play each other like 3 times a day, and we'd be like through the walls, like, "Come on, man! Like seriously, like give me a break! Like we're rooting for each other here. Why are we fighting against each other?" It's easier than you think when you get to like that high level to queue into each other. So maybe I can convince someone to queue into that I'm playing. But
that's too funny.
I hope you do.
Okay, everybody. Well, let's start wrapping things up here. I want to thank GulDaniel so much for coming on the show. It was really a pleasure to have you back on. I wasn't on the first time you came around, but I really enjoyed having you on this time. You know, I'm now missing the some of the co-ops we did. We should do that again. And yeah, dude. Yeah, thanks for coming out.
No, dude, I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much for having on. Thank you, Mike, for reaching out to me for being part of this event that you guys are holding for this month. It's been a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you guys. Nate, I love you, dude. You've been great. Yeah, I enjoy co-oping with you. It's been a blast. Hydra, we got to get back to connected, man. Yeah. We got to hang out again. Like I enjoy hanging. Yeah. We played some Among Us together too. Like it was a good time. And then Mike, I feel like you're like a long lost brother, dude. Like you're a good guy. I enjoy spending time with you, hanging out, shooting the crap with you. You guys are really good dudes. Like some awesome pillars of the community. There was a brief moment when the Hearthstoners was the wild podcast, and we kind of looked around like, oh no, we're not that serious. And it's been awesome that you started it back up. And Born to be Wild, you guys have taken off. You guys have been awesome. It's a weekly tune in for me. I recommend you guys to anybody. Thank you so much for having me on. Keep it up. You guys are awesome.
Speaking of the fact that you got a podcast and stuff, where can people find you and your content?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter for the most part. Twitch, the same thing, at GulDaniel. The L's are ones because, as you can see on the screen, I did hit Rank 1 Legend one time. Yeah. But that was the first in. I got to do it at the end of the month to earn the other one, the other L. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to finish the month Rank 1. That's my new goal. But you can find me there, Twitch and Twitter. I'm generally tweeting some hashtag chain Raza stuff. Retweeting some stuff, some good lists from some people that I know and I like. You can find the podcast at THC Hearthstone because we're the Hearthstoners. We're a lot more laid back than these guys. We're more of the Hearthstone, and we have guests on we'd like to have a beer with. We've had Mike on. We're going to have Hydra on eventually. We're going to have Nate on soon. It's a good time where we try to chill back. We're Hearthstone after dark.
Yeah.
We're definitely
with that fireplace behind you. I've seen that. Yeah, real dark. Yeah.
And then we do the live thing. We kind of followed your thing at Shiawasena _HS SHIAWASENA _HS. That's my co-host's name. He's a really good dude, an amazing player, an awesome guy, a really great friend. Honestly, I'm gonna do a shameless plug for him real quick because like his Hearthstone streams are like legit. They're fun. There's like a good time. You're playing Hearthstone with your buddies, yeah, whatever. It's the Valorant stream, the Overwatch stream. It's the off stream where you got to catch him, where he's just hanging out and you get the real Shia. Like that's where you got to tune in. Like the Hearthstone community is so good. We got so many good people. Support them in their other games because like really good people, and you get to know like the true person behind the camera.
She got mad at everyone when we were playing Hearthstone.
I told him, I was like, I was like checking your VOD because he posted a message like I'll be streaming this weekend, and I ended up watching the 5-minute clip of him just yelling at me in the market. He was molded so hard, and like check out your the boys that are in the community, and they stream some other games. I know Electric Sheep, he does his Lego streams. I haven't really said anything in them. Sheep, those are awesome. I pop in every now and then. You look like you're having a good time. Keep them up. Yeah. Like those awesome like side streams are like great. You get to really know the person behind it, and that's the best part about Hearthstone is the community. Yeah, in my opinion.
Hey, how do you and Shia not kill each other as a Warlock main, and and all he plays is Reno Priest? I'm just saying.
I do not know, and it's funny because like when Shia came on the pod, he had guested a couple of times, and then when I asked him to be my co-host, like it was really tough time breaking it to casual to be like, sorry man, I replaced you with someone younger, hotter, better. And he plays Reno Priest, but you know, when he flicks his hair back, it just got me. No, but I've been blessed. I've had two great co-hosts on our podcast. You should check us out if you get the chance. A little less professional. We hope to be just the guys you want to have a beer with. And
big shout out to Casual, by the way.
Yeah, big shout out to him. Yeah, it was his idea from the beginning, and it was weird because like he was the real host, and I was kind of like the color commentary. And so when he moved on to other things, it was just like I got to find someone to actually take that role, and she had definitely embraced that because I'm a little sidetracked sometimes. I like to just talk, and have a good time, and have a drink or two. Drink water.
Are we allowed to say how old Shia is? Is he old enough to drink? Because
yeah.
wait, whoa, wait. Can we?
He is. We can
make it up.
Look, I will tell you. This is what my mother-in-law says. Right?
Let's make up an age.
We only pick on you because we love you. It's fine. It's fine. If we didn't like you, we wouldn't say anything. Trust me.
No, and that's the same with y'all guys. I joke about you guys being old as dirt and you guys met Jesus and all that.
He's my little brother.
You guys are really good guys, and you guys have been family to me and a lot of people in the Hearthstone community, and it's awesome. And I love you guys for it, and I look forward to everything you guys do and what you guys got going on in the future. This listener series has been a blast, and I look forward to the next episode, and then the next week I'll be there tuning in. You know it.
All right. Well, anybody looking to find me, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Hydralisk _HS, and you can always find me in the Born to Be Wild Discord, where we have a great community. I suggest everybody come check that out. It's great. It's a non-toxic, good place. Like Nate was saying earlier, just come hang out, talk Hearthstone, talk other games. Come check it out. Mike, where can people find you?
Yes, sir. You guys can catch me here every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Born to be Wild. Catch me in that Discord. Your boy, you know what I'm saying? Wearing that commissioner hat, running this league-based series format. You know what I'm saying? Making things great. We got playoffs coming soon. Next week is week 4. After that is week 5. Then we're doing cuts. So catch me in Discord, man.
Yo, I'm about to be cut, yo. I was that tweet at the beginning, and it was like Hearthstone names such as Taylor Eve and she and GulDaniel, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm like hanging in on that. We got a lot.
Hey, you know me, I'm the PR king. I'll hype everybody up. I do it, man. I do it.
No, it's great. It's a good series. There's a lot of really talented players.
There is. I played against for a meme series. I played against Lord Zav this week. That was fun. I mean, there's some big names, and it's always crazy. And even the people that you may not be as familiar with, you know, you add them on here and like, oh, what? They're, they're in Legend, and like, oh, that's cool. And so there's definitely some talent here. And so showcasing some deck building is a lot of fun. Oh
yeah, I played Seth on the ladder like the next day after I faced him in the series, and I was like, all right, we're like right next to each other. Like, this is it. Let's go. This one actually counts.
This one counts.
Nice. All right, you guys can find me on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. More importantly, you can find the show and everything related at borntobewildhs.com. Again, borntobewildhs as in Hearthstone.com. You know, visit the website. You can find links to all of our stuff. There's links to the Discord. There's links to the YouTube. There's links to the merch and all that other stuff. Next week, I hope that you all are able to tune in. We've got a really special guest joining us next week. Pizza is coming on the show. Super excited for that. It will be, if you guys don't know who Pizza is, you're in for a big treat. So that will be super exciting.
You know what's cool though? Like he's been playing since the beginning. So I really see him as somebody who has like knowledge on the game. So like, I'm not even worried about if he's currently playing Wild. Like it's Pizza, man. Like I'm ready to do this. It's gonna be cool.
He's been playing Wild since before Wild existed.
Wait, hold up. One quick question before we end. Like, are you? What is y'all stance on Classic? Are y'all playing? Or
I'm gonna try it. I don't know if I'm gonna play it all the time, but I feel like that first month I want to get in there and see what can happen.
Yeah, that first month, I'm definitely busting some heads on Force Roar Druid. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Just taking the strip ripped off the Tempo Storm, just going with the list, try it out from there. All right.
I have a couple of, you know what? Handlock, old school handlock. You can whip out your Jiraxis again. So
exactly. I'll be definitely playing that first month. I think I might do my day one climb as normal, but then the next little bit, really try to dive into Classic. See if I can't. I'm gonna try to find something new. Of course, I got to, but I want to try some handlock, the old school handlock that everybody reminisces about.
I wasn't good enough back then to play it. I remember seeing the deck list, playing it, and be like, this deck sucks. and like, I had only been barely playing the game, right? And so I just didn't get it. This class, all you do is damage yourself and then you die. So I'm excited. I'm excited to try this out. I think it'll be great. So we'll try it. You know, I mean, and it's honestly like duels is technically a Wild format in some regards, at least. And like we dabble. You know, it's so we'll cover it in some regards, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm excited to at least try it out.
Yeah. I'm excited for Pizza next week. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a great episode.
Yeah, 100%. All right. I don't have anything else clever to say. So wiser words were never spoken, and you heard that on Born to be Wild.